Hey, it is Mr. Shrum. How is it going? How's it going? Yeah. I just wanted to show you some very basic course navigation and give you some suggestions to how best get through the lessons as quickly and efficiently as possible. But I clicked on the first section, 1.1, super basic intro to anatomy and why we look at the body as a system, and also why we look at certain regions of the body and how to break down the body into those smaller regions. But at the beginning of the section, you're given a checklist. And this is a good thing to look at before you jump in. And it'll tell you some broad stuff to look for in the lesson. And by the end, if you can look at this checklist and know what you're talking about and don't feel totally confused, that's a good time to take the quiz, right? So if you look at this checklist and after you look at everything in this section, you're like, yeah, I got that. I know this, I know that. But then here you're kind of like you're a little fuzzy and you don't know what's happening. That's a good time and a good sign for you to go back and look at that specific part of the section, because you don't want to just go over everything again. If you understand certain parts, just check your understanding and then focus on the stuff you don't know. So I would suggest looking at the checklist first and then going into the lesson. You can use either version, MP4, that'll be video, and then PDF is just for you to look at on electronic paper. But of course, go through the lessons, and then I would go to the vocab check. We have flashcards or study guide. So flashcard activity, that can be a good way to just check.
Abdominal pelvic cavity, the enclosed space in the abdomen and pelvis that holds the digestive, urinary, and reproductive organs.
Yeah. So that's just an easy activity for you to check whether you know what you're talking about when certain words are on the screen. Let's see. I'll make the window bigger. And then the study guide is just that, but not in flashcard form. So this is good study material. If you know everything in the study guide for vocab, that's a good sign you're ready to move on. And then I would go to anatomy check. And this is like a visual guide. So a lot of the quizzes and exams will have these like visual questions that you should be familiar with too. So look at the checklist, go through the lesson, go to the vocab flashcard, then do the anatomy check. And then if you're still curious, you can go to Field Trip. And these are just links with more information about the topics. If you need more things to look at, this is a good place to go. And then if you finally feel prepared, then go to the quiz. Okay. This section has two types: anatomy quiz that will test whether you're able to identify key anatomical structures, and it tells you we recommend that you review the lesson in anatomy checks. And so some of the questions are going to be matching, so you will hopefully visually be able to identify structures. And then there's a content quiz, and that's knowledge and comprehension. It's going to test how, if you understand the information itself. And that's going to contain true, false, matching, and multiple choice. So look at this before you take the quiz and make sure you are prepared and you score high enough on these, because we want you to get a good grade. We want you to understand, and we also want you to pass. That is key. But that is my suggestion for going through these sections, okay? And do that for each section, 1.1, 1.2. We have omitted the discussion and assignments. Those are not going to count towards your grade, but the quizzes will. So take your time with the material and pay attention to the target date on this right-hand side. That is where you should aim to be. So today you're hopefully here, right? The content quiz on section 1.2, the cell and skin anatomy. By the end of this week, you want to be hopefully done by done with 1.2. And then next week you're hopefully starting on the third section. Okay? But that is all I have for you today, is just a basic suggestion with how to use the resources in the section and paying attention to the target date to keep everybody on track. Because that's what we really are hoping for, is that you don't get overloaded and you have to make up a bunch of stuff later. Just take your time now, do a little bit of work every day, and you should stay on track. All right? And I think that's all I have for you today. If you need anything at all, message me on Canvas, email me. I'm here for you. We're all here for you. And we are willing to help out. And that's all I have to say with this video. So thank you. Have a great rest of your day and enjoy the rest of your week. All right. See you guys.